Just to give a little comparison right now, just win rate Genja with Ashe in solo queue.
Like 90%?
87.
87. God.
Huge. Absolutely huge. So it's a threat.
Well, the thing is, Ashe is an AD. She does struggle in some situations. If you don't get the items on her, she doesn't have the same damage output as a number of other AD champions. But her utility, I mean, can instantly win you the games. The fact that you get to pick and choose when a fight is going to occur as Ashe is very strong. And there's that Zilean pick. We'll see if Alex H actually locks in. But that's always been one of the strongest picks for Alex in that mid lane.
Let's also do some more stat spewing here. Right now, Alex H on Zilean win rate in tournament play, 79%.
But at the same time, you have to look at what is M5's win rate in these tournaments. You know, for 79% on the one champion, I'm sure most of them were up in that range. So we'll see where they go. It seems they might be going with Amumu. And Diamond, he's really liked that Amumu pick so far this weekend. Ashe and Amumu, those have been their favorite picks so far, having that Lee Sin been out. But Xin, he actually wasn't banned the first time, so that is an option. It
is an option, but even already now, just with the Ashe alone, it's like, hey, by the way, we're dictating the fights. You say you want to know? You're telling me that you want to tell us when to fight? No, I think not. Have an Ashe arrow. Have a nice day. And even you don't even need Amumu, but Amumu just adds another layer of protection onto that. He will be locked in. It will be a sad mummy in the jungle.
And one of the scary things with Ashe is a lot of the stronger champions that we're seeing right now tend to be shorter range. I mean, Kog'Maw is definitely really strong, and Caitlyn as well. But some of the other really common ones, Ezreal, Vayne, Graves, Corki, Ashe has such incredible range with the volley that even though she can be kind of weak, early on, there's no way to exploit it because it's a 10-25 range and she gets the crits.
We have Orianna and Katarina picked up here.
Boy, he has actually played Katarina a lot in that top lane, and that's a really strong pick for them.
And this is also the perfect solution to the problem. Well, what if we don't want them to have the AP? Well, that's your answer. You pick 2 APs.
Yeah, and that's it sets them up perfectly. This is a similar comp to what we've seen Curse run a number of times. They have the strong mid lane with the Orianna. It gives them that AoE in the team fights. It combos well with St. Vicious, but then they allow Katarina to snowball in those fights. And the biggest thing with Katarina is knowing your positioning and when you can enter the fights. Well, when you already have the Orianna AoE to set you up perfectly and to kill everyone, then it makes it easy on Katarina. And she is a very strong laner, as we've seen in the recent month.
So now the question is, what is the jungler going to be to wrap up Curse's nice little AoE package?
Well, they have a couple of options. They could go with a Cho'Gath. We've seen them do Cho'Gath a lot recently. I think that Shyvana or Nocturne are the pick, though. Considering they have the Orianna, they want someone to initiate. They could also go with a Malphite, but Shyvana and Nocturne are definitely St. Vicious' some of Saint's strongest junglers. But there's the Darien Shen pick, and actually the Master Yi.
APE?
So APE for Alex Itch.
I'm thinking it.
This is exciting.
I like it.
I'm tingling. I've got a little tender sensation going on.
You might want to get that looked at.
Yeah, but Darien, for the longest time, Shen has been one of his strongest champions. It's a really great pick for him. He can control the top lane pretty effectively and then join down with the rest of his team. So he gets one of his strongest champions, and we get to see Alex on Master Yi, which is, not something that I've seen from him recently. I'm assuming he's played it a couple of times recently, but that's going to be really exciting.
I'm assuming he has too. It must have been a solo queue thing, though, because I don't recall seeing him anything recent at the very least. But
and I'm kind of wondering if this is a pick that he was meaning to keep a secret. If this is supposed to be a surprise pick, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, hey, guys, Curse, they played us very evenly in that first game. We can't allow them to take us out of this group stage. Yeah. The losers bracket, the road through the losers bracket is really intense. Yeah. You just have so many matches that you have to play because it is a 16-team double elim. So, maybe pulling out all the stops here.
Right. Essentially, if you get dropped down to losers, and if you want to make it the entire way, you're essentially playing twice as many matches just to get to the top spot. So it's a big road of endurance, and if anyone enjoys running and going long distances, it is Master Yi.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But we'll see what they can do with that. Curse actually picking up Maokai, and Maokai for a long time now has been one of the strongest junglers. In particular, he's really effective at controlling that mid lane, and his mid lane ganks are incredible. Like, you compare it with Shyvana. Shyvana doesn't have the best mid lane ganks. That's one of her weaknesses, so she doesn't put that much pressure on the mid lane. Well, against Master Yi, you want to be able to shut him down early. They can't allow Alex in a position where he can just free farm against Orianna and then potentially take control of that game. So that Maokai pick is really very much so targeted to try and shut down that mid lane.
And St. Vicious is very comfortable with Maokai, his most played jungler in competitive play, just right above Shyvana. And Nunu comes very close third also, but yep, it's a champ he's played a lot. It's someone he's comfortable with, and it's someone I think is going to be doing very well at shutting down definitely a few of those champions, especially someone like Ash. We actually may see St. Vicious focus a lot down in the bot lane too, because they're very aware of what happens when Ash, gets the proper farm and gets the damage necessary. So we'll see what happens there. So we're loading on into the game, and we will see what happens. We will see if Curse can actually go ahead and bring it back with them and hit on into the winners. But the M5 though, let's face it, M5 are pretty popular guys. They're pretty favorites. Pretty huge favorites.
Well, M5 is incredible. There's no doubt. So it's really the David versus Goliath story. I mean, it always is. But seeing if Curse can do it, and there's a man right in the front row. We need Fat Cop.
We do.
Get Cop some donuts. So we'll see if he can get going. But it's going to be exciting. I looked at Alex Ish's rune pages real quick. So runes, he's running AP for Quince. He's running Magic 10 Reds, Armor, and Magic Resist for Yellows and Blues. But then he's running 21, 0, and 9 for his Masters, for anyone interested. So it gives him a lot of damage. He has that mana regen, so he has that spam ability in lane. But he also has a couple of defensive runes to allow him to lane against Orianna.
Because no doubt if he does well here and we see more of the AP Yi going on later into the brackets, well, it may be safe to say we may see a little solo queue invasion of Yi for just a little while. But and look at those numbers. Look at those percentages, 62% to 38%. M5, the massive favorites going on into the last match of their group.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be an exciting one. 62 to 38. Oh man, Curse fans, get voting, get that back to even. The game hasn't even started yet.
I think they used all the votes for the EU side.
Oh right, yeah, that's true. Yeah. But we'll see what they can do with this game. It's kind of wavering a little bit, so maybe they have a chance. But definitely a nice opportunity for Curse. And Rux so far with Curse, he's been really strong. I mean, he's really worked out well in that bottom lane for them.
Game is unpaused. We're now back in it. Whatever issues have arose are now gone by the wayside, and we're about to get on into this one. And Curse now moving out of base. M5 doing the same. We may see the point defense coming from M5. And also note too, Lulu, the most picked support of this tournament so far, going to be on Rux, going for the all consumables, all wards, and potions. And we've said it many times on many previous casts, when you see a support get that mana potion, that is indicative of a lot of harass, a lot of support, a lot of abilities used. So we're going to be seeing plenty of Glitter Lances come on in.
And we don't know right now whether or not Curse is actually going for that lane swap potentially, but you see early wards right around that mid lane. So they keep an eye up on their jungle, so they know that there's no invasion. They can protect their blue pretty effectively. So it will allow Maokai for a good early start. He actually recalled. I guess just grab some mana from some of those saplings.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they can do. I think one of the interesting things, we talked about the top lane a little bit. I'm kind of curious what's going to go on in the bottom lane, because Rux, as the new support for Curse, he's been very effective with harass. And I think the biggest thing that I've seen from Rux that looks very strong, when you compare him to Elements. I mean, Elements is definitely a really top-tier support, but Rux is very good about forcing fights where he's the target of the other bot lane. He takes body shots for Curse or for Cop, so that Cop can freely attack the enemy AD carry, and that often results in situations that get Cop ahead in lane, and that's a really effective thing. However, sometimes you see Rux, maybe with some poor decision making, he gets caught out a lot, and he tends to get himself out of those situations. But against Ashe and Amumu, those aren't champions that you can get caught out and get yourself out of that situation. If they catch you out of position, if you make any sort of misstep, you're going to go down, and that's a really scary thing for Curse to deal with. Yeah,
and while you see the offensive capabilities here coming in from that M5 bot lane, you have the Blood Boil, you have all that extra movement speed and attack speed. Also remember, it is a double slow. If one wasn't already enough from those extra flashes coming from Ashe, the Snowball is a massive slow as well. But we may see those trades happen, and anytime if you have a trade down bot lane, if you manage to give up your support for a kill on the enemy AD, it is actually still something in your favor because you are denying farm from the enemy AD and you're getting yourself more ahead.
Yeah, and already both junglers making their way up. Amumu, he actually started red, so doesn't risk any early engages from Curse potentially that could set him behind, but he doesn't have his smite. Still, he has enough damage. He's going to be able to take down that blue pretty easily, but we'll see, if both of them actually meet up. So the paths that they're taking, it should bring Diamond right up to this top lane. He can maybe get a gank on Boy, and then Maokai as well on St. Vicious can maybe do the same.
Yeah, well, it looks like Diamond's actually going to be crossing that finish line first, getting in position here up in the top lane, chilling out in the brush just for a little bit. Boy, not too far away, possibly waiting to see if he's going to push up. But here comes Saint, just finished the red buff Is he going to lead with the sapling? He could just walk straight on in. He's not going to lead with the sapling. He's going to get caught. Walks right into the brush. Twisted advance down onto Darien. He's trying to keep him stunned. So he just has to flash out. Flash response. That is the first blood. Going to be going to Shen.
Oh, that was brutal. And Diamond, his positioning was perfect to intercept. He wasn't looking for a gank. He was positioned so that he could get St. Vicious on his way up in that lane. And that's a really massive early lead in that top lane.
Oh, yeah.
So Shen, he should be able to bully around Katarina in that lane. Until Katarina gets a couple of levels, she needs to get lower cooldowns on her abilities. Until she does that, she's not going to be able to range farm. She's going to need to farm in melee range. And that's just going to allow Darien to completely abuse her.
And the worst part about that, too, is that you gave double buff. You gave up a double buff, and that is one of the big high-risk things of when you're a jungler and you're trying to still meander into a lane, or if you're unfortunate in happenstance of meeting up with the enemy jungler and you're trying to get into an early team fight and you're caught off guard like that. So yeah, it's going to suck for Voyboy for the next few minutes.
Yeah, we'll see how that results. I mean, he should fall pretty significantly behind farm, but we'll see how he can keep up. Once he gets a couple of levels, again, he should have the cooldown reduction that it won't be that much of a concern, and he'll be able to be okay there. Alex getting some nice damage onto Nijaki, but Nijaki turning around. Diamond Prox is here as well, gets the bandage, but the cleanse from Nijaki trying to get out of there. Darien is here as well. Maokai turning him around, so Darien does back off, but Nijaki pretty low, is kind of forced out of that lane, and the heals from Master Yi, you have great harass with your Q, but also the heals allow you to stay in that lane.
Yep, and Darien walks on down, meanders onto the mid. You don't have to be level 6 of Shen to actually go into other lanes. Your things called feet. You can use them to walk to places generally. You don't always have to hit R.
Yeah, and that's why getting those wards in that top sort of river is so important for both of these teams. But Curse in particular, because they have an early disadvantage against both Darien and Diamond Prox, and so they're going to be looking to press them. And a lot of times you see Diamond Prox, he puts most of his pressure on the top lane, between the top and the mid, because he likes to combo with Alex H. So they need to get wards in that area to make sure they can shut that down. But we'll see what they can do. So far in the bot lane, though, Ashe has a nice early lead over Cop. They are pushing into the tower, so Cop's going to be able to catch up on some of the CS as they hit the turret. But already the range advantage that Ashe has over Ezreal is just massive right now and giving them an early lead. Yep,
and all the aggression that Curse was assuming to try and get here in the bot lane, it doesn't do a whole lot if you're being pushed to tower constantly, if you're struggling to farm. And you see, there's a little bit of hesitation there. Like, do I want to stick out a little bit too far? The ward is in the river. They know that Ghost Pepper is looking to pounce, he's looking to throw a few snowballs and try and get some harass in. So Curse, they're just going to have to chill out, wait for a little while, get their farm on.
And we'll see. I think the team that's a strike next will most likely be at Moscow 5, considering some of the aggression we've seen from Diamond Prox and that he has a nice early lead. But he recognizes that Maokai is incredibly strong at this point in the game, so he doesn't want to put himself in any dangerous situations. But we'll see if they force anything. Maokai is actually making his way down bot, so they might try and force this. They do ping him off, so they do back off. And Gosu, Pepper, and Genja, they will be safe in that bot lane.
Yeah, and Gosu, look at the positioning there on the new. He's always in that rush. He's essentially playing Teemo. He's acting as his own little ward there, just to get Vicious. Like, well, you know what? You went boots first, and that is one of the disadvantages, is that you have significantly less vision because you decided to dedicate all of your money to that. You don't have all the ward coverage. So, do the next best thing, be your own ward.
Oh, and the blue is close to spawning. It's about 30, 45 seconds away, but Diamond Prox and Alex 6 are coming for this dive behind the spot lane. They aren't level 6 yet, but Orianna's coming in as well, so it's going to be a full-out fight.
St. Vicious is also there with the twisted advantage. Rock's going to get chunked out huge, though. Ignite still going down on St. Vicious, but here comes Darien in to help join the fun. Double kill for the Master Yi. Wonderfully done. Great coming from behind. Voyboy has a little bit of time to himself in top lane. No, he will be able to catch up a little bit of farm, but that is 2 kills. Just give it up.
Well, they can't fall behind early against Moscow 5. Right. That's already what's happening.
Yeah.
The previous match we saw, with the Dragon as well, but the previous match we saw it was very even through most of the game, but that's really scary, that early pressure, and Alex H actually zoning off Nijaki. There's the slow from Gosu as well, just going to force him back, but Gosu Pepper rejoining with his team. They should be able to grab this. Cop, he's trying to slow them down as well. There's the Shen taunt into Orianna. He's able to back out of there, and the Dragon will go down. Amumu picks it up, but they are all very low.
Very low. Ignite going down. Boy, there's the Orianna orb, though. You could have given it to Void, but no, he wanted to.
They're stuck in the Dragon Pit. Diamond Prox.
Oh no! He had the flash up, just was not paying attention. Probably had the shop open or something.
And so they do take them down. Voyboy coming down, so that's 2 kills for them. It does bring it back to just under 2K gold lead when it was about to jump to a 3K, so that's a huge exchange for Curse. They definitely need that to happen. It also gets Katarina in a good situation in this game. So she's now even with Shen at 1-0, but she also has a slight CS advantage because he left. He has the Dragon, but you know, Voyboy is in a great situation at top, and he should be able to AoE farm. And then the strength of Katarina will really show. The fact that she's a massive AoE clearer, she can constantly push Shen into his tower, whereas he, you know, his single target focus, he's not going to be able to push back very effectively. And maybe that holds Darien stuck in that top lane.
And also, you know, realizing Voyboy, he's starting to itemize. He's got the tier 2 boots, he's got the spell pen, so he's going to be doing a little bit more damage and a little bit, he's going to be a little bit more relevant in these exchanges if he decides to come on down from top lane and actually help out the rest of his team. And Darien actually still actually sticking it out here in the mid lane, killing some time. Alex H going to go ahead and grab the blue, bring it back with him so he can throw down those alpha strikes just with a little bit more frequency.
And one of the exciting things about Master Yi is he's actually very similar to Katarina and Evelynn. In that M5, they like these really long, protracted fights where they can get resets on their cooldowns. And Master Yi, with his ultimate, he gets the reset on his Alpha Strike. That's going to allow him to, you know, snowball those fights, potentially very similar to Katarina. And he actually goes top. So I think that's partially because they're concerned about the pushing power of Katarina.
Yeah, actually, you see Amumu actually sticking around mid there, trying to farm. You know, he could also.
Nope, just taking the farm.
Just taking the farm. That's all he's doing.
And that's always a good call. If it's going to hit
the
turret, I mean, it's allowing him to get himself in a good situation. So grabbing the farm whenever you can is definitely important.
Yeah, it's just you know, it's going to go to waste anyway. It's going to go in the tower. You might as well just give it to whoever's nearby. And we've seen this nice little quick exchange between both top and mid and the jungler. Just like, hey, you know, there's some food here. No one's around. Might as well eat it. Have something. Have a nice little stack for myself. And then Moon's just going to go straight back into the jungle, grab those wraiths, and continue on his normal path. And you also see Voyboy with very smart warding right there in the front of the blue buff ramp, just in case anyone decides to get a little bit rambunctious and try for a gank up top. And that's a little bit indicative. Voyboy is looking to push here. He's looking to clear.
Well, it protects Voyboy because he's such an aggressive top laner, and they know that Diamondprox in particular likes to pressure that top lane, and Alex H, he likes to head up there as well. So that they will be safe in that situation. Voyboy actually making his way down, so he wants to get in the mid lane. Master Yi is still there. They maybe try and force this.
St. Vicious, he was also making his way back up to mid, but he saw that ward die. He knows he's been spotted, and now Diamondprox here with that relatively early Oracle is going to be clearing out some of that coverage, make those ganks just a little bit more effective, and he knows, he's like, hey, we've been spotted out a few times, we just need to make sure that doesn't happen again.
But it's interesting, Master Yi, he's actually a really safe mid lane. There's the engage from St. Vicious, there's potentially the ultimate, there it comes from Nijaki, but Alex H actually dodges the ultimate with his Alpha Strike. He's able to get onto Nijaki. Nijaki forced to cleanse. There's the ultimate from Diamondprox, the Shen ult as well, trying to get him out of there, but the Astro comes on the backside. Nijaki goes down, the Shen taunt into St. Vicious, and M5, they're going to win this exchange.
Goes to Pepper with the ultimate, the end of that one, and going to be taking out Malka with that, but the Voyboy is a little bit pinched here. Can he actually get the safety? Yes, ward over into the Dragon Pit, going to Shunpo on over that and be nice and free, but that is still, you know, it's 2 kills though. There's 2 kills in the Curse. Yeah,
it's allowing M5 to continue on their lead right now, and they have a really aggressive team in fights, and I think part of that goes back to Amumu, you know, how much they like Amumu, and he has sword shoes, which, you know, is not something you normally expect, but he doesn't really need anything else. He doesn't need the Merc Dreads for survivability. He just, you know, he has a Heart of Gold, and having that burst damage, it sets up Master Yi in particular very well. And they know that Ashe, you know, kind of low damage early on, so they need to make up for it elsewhere, and that's really going to be be effective for them.
Yeah, it's not too uncommon. You see Amumu itemizing the things like Rod of Ages or Rylai's Crystal Scepter, just for a little bit more oomph, and just to help keep the enemy team just behind a little bit more, a little bit while longer. And if we do actually see him itemize into Rylai's, that is a lot of chain slow actually coming in from the majority of the team. So if someone gets caught, it ensures that they stay behind.
Yeah, we'll see that. I mean, they already have a lot of CC. It's going to be very difficult for Curse to disengage, and that's kind of the issue the first game. They were in a situation, the one fight they lost, they were in a situation where they didn't necessarily want to fight. St. Vicious had his ult down, Diamond forcing the fight down bot, potentially. They don't know he's there, Cup's in a dangerous spot. He will have that arcane shift, but if they kill him fast enough, it's not going to matter. They're waiting for the Ash Arrow.
He cleared that ward a little while earlier in the day. Decided not to reward it. There is the Ash Arrow cover from Cup. Nice cleanse. Wild Growth just in case.
Great reaction time from Cop, and that was the danger. Master Yi coming around the other side, but I think they're going to be okay. Orianna and Maokai are coming down as well to cut them off. They try for that behind the turret, and Alex he's actually going to force it. He uses his ultimate and is going to try and get this, but he backs off. So he recognizes the rest of Curse is there, so perfect job from Curse to dissuade that aggression.
They have the wave pushed up to the tower too. They're just not to press the issue, not to try anything risky and try and take down the tower just yet. Just back off. The opportunity is lost. Just back off. Wait for the ultimates to come back up and try it again later.
And Voyboy now starting to win that top lane, so he's able to get into his items. He has a lot of spell pen right now, and then all he has to do, he has to bait out the taunt from Shen. Once the taunt is baited out, he gets a full chain of his ultimate in that lane, and so that makes Katarina a very effective laner at this point in the game, but will be very strong for them in team fights as well.
Yep, and also we're seeing this build a lot from Katarina. It's just pure out magic pen. You get the sword shoes, get the haunting guys, and then follow it up with an abyssal. So that is a lot of magic D to shred, and right now...
Honestly, I think the first person I saw to do that build was Alex H in the mid lane.
Really?
But, you know, it is a very common build now, particularly with the Deathfire Grasp nerf.
Yeah, DFG is not something you see very often, but at the very least, you also have a fair amount of magic damage coming from the rest of the team. Like, Jackie, he's going to be a huge presence in these fights, so that abyssal will help out the team immensely as you start hitting into mid game.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be very strong if they can pick that up. So, you know, we'll see where they go there. I mean, their AoE fights are incredible, and then they have the Lulu ult to try and protect them from the quick burst of M5. So once M5's ultimates are on cooldown, in particular, the Ashe and a Mumu ult, once those are on cooldown, M5 is considerably weaker than Curse is in team fights. So M5, they need to make the great effort. They need to be able to win a fight with their ultimates. Otherwise, the rest of Curse could maybe come back. But that's partially what Yi's there for, is the fact that he has that great sustained damage. If they can pick up one kill, then all of a sudden Yi can turn that fight around.
Yep, and at the very least, M5, they can dictate when the fights start, where they're going to start, because that Ashe arrow is just too good. It's just too damn good. And Lulu, the ultimate, is actually back up, so in case M5 decides to go for another dive down bot, that will be ready. Ezreal with the True Shot Barrage, clearing off some of the minions down there in bot just to clear a little bit of time. But M5, though, they are actually going, they are back over to this dragon. 3 members here, you got Ashe coming on up as well. And Darian, he does have the ult up and ready to go.
Well, no one from Curse is ready to fight this, because Maokai and Lulu, they both had to recall back to base. So it was perfect timing from M5. And not only that, but Diamond Prox, he had the first oracles of the game. So a dragon going for M5, they build up on their lead. It's almost 4K now. And that oracles in particular, that's really dangerous for Curse. They need to either be able to take out the oracles or hold on to one themselves. St. Vicious doesn't have one yet, but if you can, remember to clear a couple of those wards as the game progresses, that would definitely help them out.
There is the arrow down bot lane once again onto Cop. He does not have the cleanse just yet, so he wasn't able to get away as carefree as he did last time, but Gozu Pepper taking quite a bit of damage on the retreat. But that should be enough to dissuade Cop, hopefully get him to back. But he's sticking around just for a little while longer. Alex Ish deciding where he wants to go. Do I want to go back down bot? He should decide to stay mid, farm up, keep up the pace.
And it was interesting to see that Gosu Pepper, even though Ashe wasn't going to be able to get the kill, he actually flash ulted in order to get Cop a little bit lower and maybe set up Alex H. If Alex H could have come in behind the turrets and they were close to getting a kill, then maybe he could get a double kill there. He does lose his flash as a result, but it was a nice opportunity for them. So we'll kind of see where they go. Darian playing very safe in this top lane. He is going for that Warmogs build, which is what we've seen in the past out of him with Shen. He just gets the Warmogs, and then he's just unkillable, basically.
And Diamond Prox, if he was heading up top lane, that could have been a reverse of fortune, but what we saw earlier on for that early jungle fight. But here comes St. Vicious with the twist advance. Post flash, Darian actually bringing him within tower range, but recognizing there is no more gank opportunity, Voidboy decides to back off. The Diamond Prox here with the oracles does see that brush is warded. A little warning sign to Curse. It's like, hey, Sad Mummy's here, you might want to back off.
Well, and you see Curse, they've been very smart with their fights so far in that they're not chasing M5 in any situations. They recognize M5 has been very good about transitioning from lanes. So Alex Ish, he's been looking to move out of that mid lane constantly, and Diamond Prox, they don't have great ward coverage right now because of that Oracle, so who knows where he could be. So instead of trying to force anything on Shen, when they were losing that situation, they just immediately get out of there and run because they know M5 could be right behind.
And that is the sign of a very well-coordinated, well-seasoned team to recognize which opportunities are good, which ones are bad. Because you see a lot of teams out there, they just go straight on into fights, every single one head on, trying to make a difference. But sometimes the best option is to just stay in body. back off.
Alex and Diamond coming bot once again, but they do have the ward to catch him off. So Cop and Rux, they're both able to back out of there, so they are safe for the meantime. Gosu, he's coming up to ward, so that blue, it should be up in the next minute, but we'll see if they try and force a fight. There's actually the Ashe ult almost hitting Cop on the side, but they are able to back off.
Yep.
But they are close to losing their tower.
They are very close. I mean, that thing just 1 or 2 more shots, and that thing is just absolute dust. Darien returning to the top lane, but as we said before, he still has that ultimate. He's surpassed level 11, so he's now level 2. The cooldown is a little bit better. You can do it a little bit more often, but Voyboy is actually just straight out roaming. He's actually given up a little bit of the experience lead, but at the very least, though, you're looking at M5, just 1 more shot down bot lane. They should be able to grab that turret.
It's interesting,
just
though,
a few more minions.
They could have killed the turret there, but they decided not to. So Genja, he specifically, I mean, he walked right up to the turret and then backed off. So they could have killed the turret. But, you know, it seems they're comfortable with a longer laning phase. They know that they are already in a successful spot. Ashe is way ahead of Ezreal. He's 60 CS ahead of Cop. And so he's winning the lane right now. Why end it? Why do they need to end the lane early? They don't. So he wants the turret to be able to push back the minions as much as possible. There it goes down to the minion push.
There you go.
But, you know, it just stalls it for a little bit longer and allows Genji to continue that farm and that massive lead.
In excess of 2K of a lead between the ADs. Genji, that's how much of a lead he has right now on the Cop. That is quite impressive to have. But now that the bot tier 1 is gone, we may see M5 just start to roam up a little bit, gather around mid, possibly take that one out, leave Darien up to his own devices.
And now the quick burst potential of Ashe is really scary, because every time her ultimate is up, M5's going to be looking for a kill and then looking for an objective off of that kill. So that's the key with Ashe, is you need to be able to, you get 1 kill, you need to be able to push it. And Ashe has the range that she can poke down towers fairly effectively. But we'll see what they can do there. Honestly, this mid lane Yi, I think it's been really cool to watch, because Alex, he's been keeping ahead of Orianna in that lane. But part of it is the fact that his harass is so safe with Alpha Strike, he doesn't really have to worry about getting in harass range. Darien chasing down Voyboy a little bit, he's in a dangerous spot. But it's the fact that when you harass with the Alpha Strike, if you kill the minions, you teleport back to the original minion. So you're not in melee range. You don't have that long walk back to base.
So that's the thing, though. How do you deal with that? I mean, it's, you see sometimes, on occasion, Master Yi and Solo Q looking to troll just a little bit. It's like, well, how are you going to harass me back? What are you going to do? What do you do against an APE?
I mean, part of it is that jungle support. So, you know, getting a jungler that's very effective about ganking, Maokai is, but they've been a little bit scared because they fell behind early to M5, particularly in that top lane. So they didn't want to force anything that might lose them that.
Voyboy, he's present here in top lane. There's a taunt going down. They're looking for the stuns. Somehow, Voyboy trying to get out. Nice Shunpo over to the ward. Will get out somehow.
And Genja walking past the ward there, he does back off before that Glitter Lance hits him. But another turret for M5, so they have 2 turrets down. The mid turret could be the next to go. 1 Ashe arrow, they could force a fight. Amumu could ult underneath the turret and, you know, maybe clean up Curse. So Curse has to be really concerned about the fact that they don't have a good enough disengage against all the CC. They're still pushing down the top while they're splitting mid. Orianna, she can't defend the top because of the push mid, and as a result, they're going to lose their 2nd top turret.
Yep, Staying Vicious threw down the ult just for a little bit of extra damage on the minion, but the top tier 2 does go down. Taunt going down on both members of here. Curse top lane. There's the Amumu ult. You also got Lulu ult trying to disrupt, and there's the ult from Katarina, but will not be getting the reset there. Darien with the shield, but here comes
the Ashe arrow hit Jackie.
There you go. You got the cleanse being forced out. Darien, he's taking quite a bit of damage on the back of it. Here comes the volley over from the side.
Genji pick it up.
Very low, the volley body blocked by the rest of the members of Curse, but there's Yi with the Alpha Strike for the triple. Voyboy now struggling to get away, waiting for the bandage shots to come out, but Alex Ditch, can you chase?
He has him. He's in range. He has the Alpha Strike.
You can't leave. You can't leave. Delayed Quadra for Alex that you're trying to outrun a Yi. It's not going to happen.
Really scary, because Curse, they were able to disengage with the Lulu, but they decided to kind of turn around. They weren't quite sure if they could win that fight, and then the rest of M5 coming up, they're able to turn around. Once they hit the cooldowns onto Master Yi, the AoE and then the combo with Yi was very effective, and then Genja coming around the backside. No pressure on the AD carry is always going to be a good situation for you. So 9-2 now, a massive advantage for M5. They're going to be able to take the mid turret as well. So 4 turrets down to the 1 from Ezreal down in that bottom lane, and M5 is just abusing Curse now, and it has to do with the fact that they have so much CC and initiation on their team.
And not only do you have the CC, but they also have great ways to keep Curse from escaping all of these fights as well. If anything, just in the Yi. You also have, you just wait for Amumu's Vanish to come back up, wait for a taunt to come back up. Once those engages happen, it's not going to end until there's a bloodbath. It's just plain and simple. And N5 getting yet another dragon. They have so much map control at this point. And even if Curse does try and fight this, they know they can win the fight straight out.
Yeah, it was a close fight, though, for Curse, the previous fight. And
right.
Part of it was the Lulu, the fact that M5, we had talked before, because of, the way their champions work, they need to be able to get it with their ult. There's the arrow on the St. Vicious. He's going to be caught out of position. He does barely get out of there. The movement speed from 9Jackie as well, able to get him out of there. Yeah. But the scary thing is, once M5, picks someone, it's very easy for them to grab a kill. Right. But once their ults are down, they're a little bit weaker. They're significantly weaker in those fights. So the Lulu ult, it can try and protect Curse, so that they can maybe turn those fights around. And it almost happened with Katarina.
Right.
Part of it was just no AD versus an AD team. So it's a 4v5, and they lost it.
Yeah. I can't help but imagine though, if Voyboy did get the reset on the ult somehow, it could have been a very different fight, but fortunately enough, that did not happen. That may happen in the next fight. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait a little while. And Voyboy keeping Darien away, but that shield now is just a little bit too strong from that Shen. He could just tank the turret all day if he wants to.
Well, and that's the thing. Now that he has the Warmogs, Darien is basically unkillable in that 1v1 situation. Curse, they're going to try and engage on him, so they actually maybe just get the blue for 9Jackie, but they recognize Katarina right now, Voyboy, he's not going to be able to bully around Darien out of lane, and now he's going to be split from the rest of his team because Darien can just split push the whole game, and they really need Katarina in those fights.
So that's the thing. Is there anyone that can even remotely defend against this massive push from the lone ninja? There is maybe Orianna, maybe, but still, they need the initiation.
Yeah, well, Orianna definitely needs to be with the team, but right now, M5 clearing out the wards by the Baron. The key for that split push Shen, they're actually just going for it. Oh, wow. So Amumu and Master Yi, they're going for it together. They have the heal and the massive armor on Master Yi, so once the knockup is down, he can heal and easily take that Baron. And now the rest of the team is coming around, and they have the Shen, so it is going to be a 4v5 at worst. Usually with the Shen split push, you want to either force a fight and win the fight before Shen can finish his ultimate, or try and pick off Shen in that side lane. They're not going to be able to pick off Shen, so the key is going to be for them to burst someone down from M5 before Shen can even teleport it.
Yeah, and sometimes there are certain champs, with if you see Shen, it will cancel, but that's Katarina, pure damage. She does not have that available.
Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that M5 didn't decide to go for that, but they're concerned. They have a big lead right now. They're 9K up on Curse. They recognize, they still respect Curse's AoE. That's the key here. It's respect for Curse's team. And they don't want to force a fight at the Baron that maybe turns around the game and loses it for them when they know they can just slowly split push them.
Yep. Also keep in mind, that is the Baron pit. The Maokai ult pretty much takes up the entire area of the pit. If Voyboy was able to somehow get to the fight, it's very close AoE, same thing 9Jackie. It's essentially a death trap if you get caught in that thing. And they do respect the AoE, they do respect the damage capabilities, and remember, they want to dictate the fights. They want to start everything off. They want the Ashe arrow to start every move they make.
Oh, but the scary thing for M5's team right now is Ashe, how much damage she has.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't have a steroid as a champion, but when you have an Infinity Edge and a Phantom Dancer, it doesn't matter.
And Nunu.
Yeah, if they can protect her, which they're going to be able to. They have the Amumu and the Nunu to control that front line, and Nunu's ultimate, in particular, can just completely shut down any engages onto the back line. It's going to protect Genja in these fights, and then with the range he has and the just massive DPS he has, it's going to be really scary for Curse if they can't burn him down.
And what's going to be even worse is that when Ghost Remember eventually does get that Zeke's Herald, and Ashe is going to get very close to maxing out on attack speed, and the damage output just raises exponentially. Genja getting chunked out huge, though, gets caught by the orb, free tower shot, is going to have to play it safe just for a little while longer, and M5 are deciding to disengage, just go off to the side, take out some little bit more of the jungle camps, and then move out from there. They think they're going to go into mid next. Yeah,
that was great for Curse in that situation, because I think M5 actually might have been looking to force a fight after taking that turret. So Ashe was taking down the last of the turret. I think the second the turret died, they might have just thrown the Ashe arrow and forced a fight with a Amumu, because they know they have a nice enough gold lead. They can try and force it, but they're coming right back to the mid lane. They can push it down. Ezreal trying to clear with his ultimate, but Genja doing way too much damage. He drops it very quickly, and now they have to decide whether or not they want to just force an engage onto Genja, or if they want to allow M5 to just slowly kill their base.
I'm thinking like Alex is just tailing right on the end of his group. Is like, no, come on. Go for the engage. I know you want to, but all the ultimates are up, though. They are ready for these engages. St. Vicious a little bit too far away from the rest of the team. Voidboy coming on in. There is the Shen ult now on the Gozu Pepper, but they have everyone pinched. Look at the sandwich. You got that wonderful Astro and Outstitch using the Zonias caught over on the back line. You got the Mumu coming in. Voidboy throwing down the ult, but he does not get the reset. You got Shed with the kill on Ezreal. Maokai going to go down next, and Darian's tanking the turret like a champ, waiting for the rest of his team. Gosu's very low. Diamond, he's about third left, and there's
the flash.
with the flash. What's the aggression? One more arrow gets it.
And the kiting from M5, their team fight positioning is so strong and their goal lead is so strong that none of them are going down. They're able to cycle in and out of fights because the only hard CC for Curse is Orianna's ultimate and Maokai. Once Orianna's ultimate is down in particular, M5, anyone who's low can just get the hell out of there, and it allows Genja in particular to be very safe. You see he has no fear in his eyes of Curse right now, and they're able to push back. They are actually turning around, though. They might catch him off in the bushes. There is a ward. So I think Curse, they are going to back off, so they recognize they're not going to run into it. But now M5, they can potentially take this Baron, though they are all very low and they have a lot of gold to spend. So yeah, they are going to back off. And 3K on Shen, 2K on Ashe, you know, spend that gold lead that they have, and then they can come back and bully around Curse some more.
Darian didn't know it, but he was actually recalling in a warded bush. And he's very close. Voidboy could have just come on in and just threw a blade at his face. That could have actually been a very bad spot, but fortunate enough, managed to get back in time. Everyone
well, could he have killed Darian even if he did?
Also true. Also true. We could just, it's like, hey, I'm getting taunt over to my buddy, you know, the Baron over here. He'll say hi if he wants to throw some acid your way. It'll be a nice treat for you.
And so they back off once again. Hey, Baron treats are always nice. But,
they are always nice.
Voidboy, we'll see. I guess he's going to pass over the blue to Orianna. Darian kind of peeking in for a second. You know, he's just that aggressive. He knows how strong he is. He has the force of nature and the Aegis. He's basically unkillable right now. He's running right in the middle of Curse, and it's a 5v1 right now. They're trying to chase him down. There isn't the rest of the team. There's the Ashe Arrow coming in as well, but they're still trying to take down Darian, and it seems he's not going to be able to get out of there.
It's not up. He manages to taunt away. God. Clears the gap. There's the Noodle ult. Managed to get the full channel
and
on
now
that
Genja's
one.
here as well.
With the Zonias Argos out on the edge of the fight. One more Alpha Strike. He can get another triple here. That is one.
Oh, the Master Yi Penta.
That's the triple. That's the Quadra. And the chase. Pentakill! Pentakill!
Alex Ich with the pentakill on Master Yi, and that is the strength of their team. Once they get everyone low, M5 takes it home. They're pushing down the Nexus, and oh my god, Darian was such an incredible tank. 5v1. He was tanking their team 5v1, and they couldn't take him down. It allowed the rest of his team to get there. Alex Ich, or Genja, he was all the way in the bottom lane. He ran all the way up to meet up with Shen, and they take home the victory. M5